What's going on, guys? Walter here with the Black Dow, and I've been getting a lot of questions on blockchain. People are kind of confused about what it is and what it means and the word in general. So what I want to do is do a quick and dirty kind of understanding of blockchain. It's not going to be a huge overview, but it's going to be a real quick understanding for how it works and why it's so secure. So I'm going to go ahead and hop on in to our little paint tool here, and I'm going to just start off with drawing a little something here. So let's just title this thing. Oops. Let me see here. So there we go. So the name blockchain, why is it called blockchain? Well, my understanding is that the way that this works is that in the blocks, there's a bunch of transactions, right? So we have, let's say we have like 3 blocks here. We'll just do 3 for the sake of this example here, right? So we have 3 different blocks here. And this is where like all of our transactions go. This is where everything that we're trying to do online goes. They're all going to be in these blocks. Now, the reason why it's called chain is because their blocks are linked together, right? So this block's linked, and they're linked between one another. Now, one could say, well, how are they linked to one another? How do you know that one goes before the next, right? How do I know that this is going to be 1? How do I know that this is going to be 2? And how do I know this is going to be 3? Well, the way that this works, let's say this. How do I know that this is, because we're not going to start with the Genesis block, which is the very first block in the blockchain. Just for the sake of argument, let's start with block 12. Let me see here. Actually, let me just go ahead and let's do this. Let's start with block 12, block 13, and block 14. Okay? So the previous, the way that this works is that there's something that we call a hash, or this like long number that kind of, it's this kind of long arbitrary number, but that number is very unique, right? And so what happens is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a very short number. Normally the hash is extremely long, but I'm going to use a shorter hash. So let's say, for example, this one is, let's say, A1 B2. Okay, so this is the hash for this block. So this is all right. So this is the hash number. Just think about this as like the unique identifier for this number, right? And then let's say, for example, this one right here, right, is this hash right here is A2 B3, okay? And then let's say this hash right here is, because it could be anything, right? So I'm going to just mix it up a little bit. Let's say this one right here is C4A1, okay? So these are the 3 different hashes that we have, right, for these blocks. So this is kind of the unique identifier for this block, right? So in order for block 13 to correspond with number 12, it has to have the previous hash right here, right? So in this block, there's going to be information that says, that's going to say A1 B2. So the information in 13 says it has a hash number and a previous hash number. Well, because this is A1 B2, it corresponds with this right here, right? So that lets people know that, hey, 13, this is the number, and it corresponds with 12. Therefore, this is the correct hash, and this is the correct block, and the information is correct, right? Now, hash 14, right? C4A1 has this hash number, and the previous hash for this block is going to be A2 B3. And that corresponds with this right here, right? So this is kind of how this works. And so for example, with this previous hash, right, it's going to be whatever block 11 was, right? So whatever block 11 was, that would be the previous hash. And that would actually let you know that, hey, this information is correct. Now, because the blockchain is distributed, right, it's on hundreds of thousands, if not millions of computers, it's important that this information matches amongst all computers. So let's say, for example, I'm going to redo 13 and 14 right here. Give me 1 second here. See if I can move this down a little bit. All right, so let's redo 13 and 14 right here. So let's say, for example, 13 and 14, right? Let's say let's say somebody from one computer, right, had decided that, hey, let's change this. Let's change some information in this block. If anything changes in this block, if anything changes in any one of these blocks, what happens is that, well, let me write this down real quick for you guys so you guys can remember. So remember this hash is C4A1, and then this previous hash is A2B3. Okay, so let's say, for example, in 13, someone out there makes a change, or somebody tries to change information to steal money or to steal funds, right? So somebody makes changes. So when they make this change, what happens is that any change that happens to that block, the hash number changes. So let's say, for example, they made changes to block 13, the hash changes, right? Make changes, hash changes, right? So now that this hash changed in 13, guess what? The previous hash is A2B3. This doesn't match. So what happens since this doesn't match? That means that lets people know that, hey, something happened to this block specifically, and we should throw this block out. It's not legit. And that's how you're able to keep the blockchain running smoothly. So anytime that there is some type of error message, or anytime that the hash actually changes, and it's because somebody made a change to the overall blockchain, it will be able to be picked up because the hash number will actually change. And this is important because, remember, we have to have consensus on the blocks. So the only way that this could actually happen, the only way that this could work, is that if you were able to trick over half of the blockchain in order to reach consensus, which is extremely difficult to do. So if one or two actors try to do this, what happens is that it's not going to work out. So I hope that wasn't too long-winded. I want to just give you guys a really quick and dirty way of how the hashes work with the blockchain, and just how the blockchain is able to stay so secure because the hash number is unique and it's tied to the previous block. So there you go. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. I can totally do these kind of brief videos to kind of explain how that works. Hopefully it was clear. If not, let me know below. I always want to improve on what I'm doing, so please let me know that below in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys again here real soon.